WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
Investigators are shining new lights on the mid-air collision between a plane and a military helicopter in Washington, D.C. It's our top story at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Sherry Jones has the night off. A total of 67 people were killed in this collision, making it the deadliest plane crash in the United States since 2009. At least 40 bodies have been recovered so far. Erica Brown has the latest on the investigation.
Recovery crews spent all day Thursday combing the Potomac River, searching for the remains of those lost in the horrific collision just short of the runway at Reagan National Airport.
At this point, we don't believe there are any survivors from this accident.
Officials say there were 64 people on board the American Airlines regional jet from Wichita, Kansas, and 3 on the U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter when they slammed into each other as the jet was preparing to land just before 9 Wednesday night.
This is Alert 3. Crash.
The plane now sits upside down, broken into at least 3 pieces in waist-high water in the Potomac. CBS News has learned that just one air traffic control worker was managing the helicopters and planes, a job normally done by 2 people. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading the investigation.
We look at the human, the machine, and the environment. That is standard in any part of our investigation.
The NTSB says both black boxes from the plane have been recovered. They're being analyzed at an NTSB lab near the crash scene. At the time of the crash, both aircraft were flying at about 400 feet. Military helicopters are supposed to stay below 200 feet.
We're still in a recovery mode, first and foremost, to get the perishable evidence and specifically the bodies out. Once we get a little bit closer into that, we'll be able to better understand the dynamics of what may have happened upon impact.
Among those aboard American Airlines Flight 5342, a group of figure skaters, their parents, and coaches returning from a skate camp in Wichita. Recovery crews suspended their search at dusk. They'll be back in the water at dawn. Erica Brown, CBS News, Arlington, Virginia.
Back here at home, one person is recovering tonight following a car crash in Lansing. This one happened before 9 o'clock on Saginaw Street near Johnson Avenue. That's just east of Pennsylvania Avenue. Police tell 6 News 2 vehicles were involved, and despite the damage to them, we're told nobody was seriously hurt. But police did have to close 3 of 4 lanes on Saginaw while they investigated this crash. No word yet on exactly what caused it. And we are learning tonight about a deadly crash that happened this morning in Eaton County. Sheriff's officials say it happened just before 9 o'clock near Battle Creek Highway and Anchor Road, where 2 SUVs crashed. One of the drivers, a 68-year-old man from Charlotte, was pronounced dead at the scene. The other was hospitalized with minor injuries. This crash is also still under investigation. The number for the sheriff's office is on your screen. Call in a tip if you know anything that could help. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are trying to eliminate federal taxes on tips, and now legislators in Lansing want to accomplish the same thing for state taxes. A bipartisan bill was introduced today in the State House. Under this bill, gratuities paid to employees by guests, patrons, or customers to tipped employees would be added to the list of income sources that are exempt from state income tax. A tipped employee in this case would be any worker who makes at least $30 a month in gratuities. The bill was sent to the State House Committee on Finance. A different bipartisan bill introduced in the State House today would regulate residential chicken flocks. Under this bill, you would need at least a 1/4 acre to raise egg-laying hens. You could have up to 5 hens per 1/4 acre of land, up to a maximum of 25. The bill has been referred to the State House Committee on Agriculture. Michigan's senior U.S. Senator Gary Peters shocked the political world this week by announcing he would not run for re-election. But is he considering stepping down early so a Democrat can be appointed to his seat and run as an incumbent in 2026? Our Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic asked him that question this afternoon.
Everybody knows that it is infinitely easier for a political party to secure a U.S. Senate seat if there is an incumbent running for that seat. With Michigan Democratic U.S. Senator Gary Peters announcing he will not run again and that he wants to serve out his full 2 years left in his term, what if the Democrats pleaded with him to retire early so Governor Whitmer could appoint a replacement who could then run for re-election as the incumbent, what would he do?
I would tell them no. Yes, I would tell them no.
The senator's partner in Washington, former Senator Debbie Stabenow, steadfastly refused to leave early, too, for the good of the party. So when pressed again, Senator Peters, he would not budge.
I'm going to serve my full term.
And no, that's unequivocal. That's a Sherman statement.
It is. I plan to serve my whole term. I was elected for 6 years. I'm going to do 6 years.
His final quote, "It's not happening." In his video where he announced his decision, were there other reasons that he did not mention for leaving?
Did you leave because of health reasons?
No, not at all.
Did you leave because you were burned out?
No. I still have a lot of energy.
Did your wife and kids lean on you to leave?
No, not at all.
A whole host of Democrats could run to replace him, including Pete Buttigieg, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, Oakland County Congresswoman Haley Stevens, State Attorney General Dana Nessel, and a host of others. So if there's a crowded primary, will Senator Peters endorse? He says he will not. So, as he waits for more free time to ride his bike in 2 years, he confesses this decision took months. But as the reality sets in, there are no second thoughts. So, is he at peace?
I am at peace.
Here for you in Lansing, Tim Skubic, 6 News.
Thank you, Tim. Dozens of people on Michigan State's campus rang in the new year tonight, the Lunar New Year, that is. They gathered at the MSU Union Ballroom for some fun, food, a movie, and crafts. More than 100 people turned up for the Moon and Mingle celebration. Guests enjoyed food from Panda Express and some Korean corn dogs and watched the movie Crazy Rich Asians. The Lunar New Year started yesterday with billions of people around the world, most in Asia, welcoming the Year of the Snake.
As the Outreach and Inclusion Coordinator, or at least one of them, I think it's important to put on events that can be inclusive for MSU's environment and just to play my part in representing everybody.
This was a free student event, and it went from 6 to 8:30 tonight. And here at TV6, we are getting ready to celebrate the 75th anniversary of WLNS this year, and we could use your help. So if you hung out with Alley Cat or cut a rug on Swing Lively, or if you know someone who met Martha Dixon, please let us know. And if you have any pictures or video from back in the day, please head over to WLNS.com/75. That's where we've set up a folder for you to upload your memories. We'd love to use them on the air, and if you're willing to talk about it on TV, let us know in the comments and we may be in touch. We're going to kick things off around our birthday in May.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, I can tell you, as someone who spent 20 plus years here, it's an easy place to have fun and forget about how much time is passing in 75 years. Wow, that's incredible. Weather-wise for us tonight, we're watching some rainfall spreading north of the state line as we've got some rain showers and not snow showers on the way tonight through tomorrow morning. Check out Precision Cast. Temperature's important, so I've added that on here for you. By tomorrow morning, we're well above freezing. Now, sure, there might be a snowflake or sleet pellet that mixes in, but overall, we're looking at mainly rain showers across the area. Biggest question mark is, will the precipitation come down heavy enough that despite the mild temperatures, we change it over to some wet snow? If that happens, there could be some slush here and there, but it shouldn't be a huge problem. And it's out of here so quickly. I mean, by 6, 7 o'clock, it's already heading south of the state line, and we're still above freezing. So even if we see a little snow, it's not going to cause major issues for us. As far as the weekend is concerned, cooler temperatures will build in on Saturday. We'll get some sunshine out there, but clouds will quickly thicken up as the next system approaches and brings a bit of a rain-snow mixture into Sunday. If we're looking at all rainfall, this, with the melting snow, and on top of that, the rain comes down, then there could be some localized flooding issues with a ½ an inch or more of rainfall. Now, if we can mix in some snow, certainly there could be a little slush here and there, but we're looking at a trace to less than an inch across most locations. And so I do think that even if we see some snow mixing in tomorrow, while you may have to watch out for a little slush early afternoon, by the evening it should be all gone. High temperature trend, it's looking mild for the next several days. 40s today, upper 30s tomorrow. We're back in the 40s on Sunday. Next week does get a little colder, a little bit below average, but we're only looking at upper 20s to near 30 for highs, so nothing too extreme as far as the cold's concerned. Temperatures tonight are sitting in the lower 40s, although Charlotte down to 39 degrees. Same in Howell, but still 40 Jackson through Mason and Lansing. On the Skyview network tonight, you see some of the low cloudiness now building in over the city. Temperature at 42, almost made it to 50 today. Really close, but not quite there. In Grand Ledge tonight, temperature now down to 40 degrees after a high of 46. Wind gust today was less than 20 miles per hour. That was the other bonus. We got the sunshine, warm temperatures, and not a lot of wind. On the Jackson cam, no report of a peak wind today because it was pretty light. 48 was the high and 40 the current temperature. Tonight in Hillsdale, the roadway's just starting to get wet. Now temperatures at 38 degrees. Hasn't quite registered in our rain gauge yet, but it will soon. 44 the high and 22 was our morning low. Tonight's forecast, your low down to 33. That's going to probably occur in the next hour or two, and then as the rain showers build in, temperatures will actually rise. So 36 by 7 o'clock, 37 at noon, and then temperatures start to fall a little bit tomorrow afternoon, and of course that's when we could see some wet snow mixing in. The 6-day forecast shows temperatures much colder on Saturday, but then back in the 40s for Sunday for Groundhog Day. By next week, temps in the 30s on Monday, 20s on Tuesday. Wednesday, got to watch out. There could be some freezing rain in the area with temperatures in the low 30s. Should change over to rain, however, by Thursday as we climb back into the mid 30s. Next weekend, colder, but upper 20s to near 30. But after the Arctic air, that's not going to be too tough to take. Oh, I say that, but it was so nice out there today. Tomorrow's temperatures are going to feel cold.
It's easy. It's really easy to get used to some warm weather, even if it's just for one day. And then the next day, if it's cold, it's like, oh, man.
We never get used to the cold weather, but the warm weather, we get used to that real quick.
Yes, we do. David, thank you. Coming up here on 6 News at 11, more hostages were released today as Israel and Hamas work to end the war in Gaza. Those details are next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.